We shouldn't be the two Maines. We should be one Maine, working for the same goal, for the same people. We are one people. Maine is not just the ocean. Maine is the inland hills and the mountains and the high peaks, lakes and ponds. But Maine is people. It's people who have a warm and welcoming heart. It's people who have a tremendous work ethic. People in my hometown, Farmington, they don't put up with bullies. They expect you to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. So when I got to be your Attorney General, I faced down the biggest bully this state has ever seen, Governor Paul LePage. The first thing he wanted to do was to take thousands of kids off of health care in our state. I said no. He sued in federal court. I fought back, and I won. And we kept thousands of Maine kids on health care in our state. I'm proud of that. When the governor said he was vetoing the bills that would have provided life-saving drugs to opiate abusers, I bought a room full of that drug, and I've delivered it to 55 different law enforcement agencies in the state of Maine. We've saved 237 lives. I guess it's in my nature to try to protect people who can't fend for themselves, but I also know that I can build coalitions across the state. And that's what I want to do as governor. I want to bring people together. People I hear from are tired of partisan bickering. They're tired of the divisiveness, the polarization. While I was the district attorney, I met and married my husband, Stan Kuklinski. He was a widower with 5 daughters. Being a stepmother in her late 30s, I had no idea how to bring up 5 daughters, but did the best I could. Flashing forward 29 years after we were married, my husband had a stroke, and he spent a year in and out of hospitals and rehabs and nursing homes and the like, and then passed away in September of 2014. I realized that what we were going through, high deductibles and co-pays and the cost of pharmaceutical drugs, was no different than what thousands of Maine families go through every year, every day across our state. And it's those people I think about every day when I get up, go to the office and try to help the citizens of Maine. I want to be the next governor of the state of Maine because I think the best chapter in our state's history has yet to be written. I want a state where every senior has heat in their home. Every veteran has a place to go at night and a place to go during the day. Every child has an equal opportunity to education, and all new Mainers will be welcomed in our state with an open and loving heart. I've taken on the Wall Street giants, Standard & Poor's and Moody's, and I've won.
Attorney General takes on Wall Street and wins.
I've taken on the major pharmaceutical companies when they cheated Maine citizens and state government, and I won. I've taken on Volkswagen of America for violating our clean air laws, and I won. I've taken on Paul LePage time and time again, and I won. I'm ready to win this primary. I'm ready to win the election. I'm ready to win back the Blaine House for the people of Maine.
Thank you, fellow Democrats. You know, driving home to Farmington last night under a moonless sky, after a convention bursting with so much excitement, I thought about the many things we've waited for so long. There are things worth waiting for, I thought. Things we've wanted and toiled for, longed for. Today, in Maine, it's the season of lilacs, of brook trout, ice outs, fiddleheads, and jonquils. Things we've waited for a long time through a long, harsh winter. It's the time in Maine when we turn things around. The time we till the earth and feed the seedlings and open up camp. It's the season when things wake up and beg for change. This year, we are going to wake up the people of Maine. For in our state, it is time for things to change. And this party, the Democratic Party, the party of Ed Muskie, George Mitchell, Joe Brennan, and Shelley Pingree, this party is and always has been the party of change, of progress, and renewal. I know something about change. Growing up 40 miles up the road from here as a kid delivering newspapers and as a teenager waiting tables, I witnessed the passing of the shoe industry, the demise of wood products industries, and the birth of ecotourism. When I worked and lived here in Lewiston, This city had no university. The fabric mills and shoe shops were deserted, abandoned brick albatrosses. Now, Lewiston is a vibrant city, diverse and safe, and with a robust economy, those factories rebuilt into classrooms and restaurants. And in Portland, the jewel of southern Maine, the explosion of new tech industries continues to amaze me every year. But in other parts of Maine, people are still left out. Abandoned factories beg for attention. Dairy farms and fisheries wonder if they'll make it another year. Small towns face crumbling schools and punishing property taxes. The opiate epidemic ravages every community. Children everywhere just want to be safe and cared for. And it's times like these when the world outside our door seems more uncertain and more unequal than ever. Times when so many don't know where the next paycheck or meal is coming from. There will always be those in these times ready to exploit the politics of fear to get ahead, to tell us that we can solve our problems by finding some scapegoat, whether immigrants or the poor or the feminists, students, LGBTQ folks, racial or religious minorities. And in that environment, perhaps the easiest path is to embrace fear sometimes. But fellow Democrats, I say to you today that a victory won with those weapons is no victory at all. Today, right now, let us once and for all reject the politics of fear and division and reaffirm our belief in the politics of trust, hope, and love. Trust in our state that we have the resources, the work ethic, the commitment to bring the change we need. Hope for our future, that together we will see the rise of a new Maine that is undivided, prosperous from north to south and west to east. And love for our fellow Mainers, whether they've been here for generations or maybe they've just arrived. Because it's only with trust, hope, and love that we can begin to do the work ahead of us. Fellow Democrats, we have a lot of work to do. For the lobsterman who worries that climate change will destroy his way of life, for the single mom or dad who can't take a day off from work to care for a sick child, or for the child who lives in fear of an abusive parent because the state has abandoned her, for the shopkeeper in Skowhegan waiting for the promise of economic growth in her town, for the teacher who dips into his meager savings to feed a hungry child, for the student so afraid that any day might bring the next shooting, for the new graduate hoping for a good job in renewable energy so she can start her family in the state she grew up in, and for the union worker watching her job being outsourced by an administration that despises labor, for the family with no health insurance, terrified that any sniffle or cough could be the beginning of the end. It is for them that we are here today. It is for them that I am running for governor. Because in Maine, when we see a problem, we don't just stand by and let others do the work for us. We roll up our sleeves and we get it done. Two short years from now, we will celebrate the 200th anniversary of our beloved state. Will we be marching with joy and pride, knowing that we have done everything in our power for our fellow Mainers? 2 years from now, we'll celebrate the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote. Will that be a time when women finally have equal pay, reproductive freedom, and equal opportunity? 100 years ago, the dreamers who came to this state were Quebecois, Italians, Irish Americans, all seeking the freedoms of work, worship, and safety. The dreamers of today seek the same things. They may look a little different, speak different tongues, follow different customs, but they dream, hope, and toil just the same, like our ancestors and like the indigenous people born here long ago. They dream, like my family dreams, of a new Maine with hope and opportunity and a vibrant economy. My husband, Stan, were he here, would relish this moment and this campaign. I know he's here in spirit. He is here in my heart. He's embodied in the 5 women I am proud to call my daughters and my friends, and in our 4 precious grandchildren, all of whom will have bright futures here in our state if we succeed this year, if our party's principles prevail, if we keep the faith, if we persevere. My husband, Stan, was a tennis coach. Every morning as I left for the Capitol to do the people's work, he'd say, "Janet, just keep hitting the ball over the net. Just keep hitting the ball." Well, yeah. Well, we've spent the last 8 years hitting the ball back over the net, trying to score against a well-financed and radical opponent. Change has been a long time coming. Fellow Democrats, I stand here today backed by many friends and supporters around the state, proud to be endorsed by Emily's List. Today, I'm asking you to join us in the renewal of our state to fulfill together the promise we've made to the people of Maine. We've waited long enough. With your help and your vote, change is going to come. I ask for your vote, and together we will bring back the Blaine House and make our state great again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Good to see you.